Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. We have unfortunately seen the price of Bitcoin moving to the downside within the last 24 hours. We did discuss this in yesterday's stream. We are down 2.27% within the last 24 hours. So if we take a look at the price of Bitcoin, it does unfortunately look like we were correct on yesterday's stream. And we are coming back down to retest those levels. We did see that sharp move to the upside on Sunday evening, and with the price action that we saw yesterday through the day, it didn't look like we were going to be able to maintain those levels, and unfortunately we have not done so. Now at the end of today's stream, we will be running through the Bitcoin chart, analyzing that, looking for some levels of support and resistance, and looking at what we could expect for the next couple of weeks. But first of all, let's take a look at what is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Before I forget, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss these live streams. We do them every single weekday, so make sure to stay tuned on this. We keep up to date with what's going on, and we have a major story here today, and I haven't seen many people talking about this. We have seen the CFTC chairman disagree with Gary Gensler on the state of digital asset regulation. Now, the CFTC is the regulator in the US that regulates commodities. The SEC regulates securities, and we've seen a huge amount of problems in the cryptocurrency market within the last couple of months because Gary Gensler and the SEC have been labeling many different cryptocurrency assets as securities and regulating them very, very heavily and accusing these projects of not registering as a security, even though many of these projects don't believe they're a security at all. Now, if an asset is not a security, then it may fall into the category of being a commodity and needs to be regulated by the CFTC instead. Now, to determine whether an asset is a security or a commodity, we use a test that is outdated, one that Gary Gensler and the SEC thinks is absolutely fine, and one that we all absolutely think needs to be changed. So what we're seeing here is overlap of these two regulators. The CFTC believe that 70%, or the chairman at least, believes that 70% of cryptocurrency assets are commodities, whereas the SEC have said he believes, the SEC chairman has historically said he believes that the majority of cryptocurrency assets are securities. So this looks like a massive problem in the US right now. We have seen the problems in terms of regulation in the region, and we are now seeing a huge overlap here being stated, and it definitely is something that needs to be clarified very, very quickly because it's causing a huge amount of problems, stifling growth of the industry within the region. And it's something we are going to see problem after problem for until we get some clarity on this and we get some clear frameworks to help us determine what a security is, what a commodity is when it comes to digital assets, and how we can determine the difference between the two. Currently, we use the Howey test that was created in 1946, and it just does not work. It's a very frustrating situation, especially for those of us within the cryptocurrency space, because we're trying to grow the industry and move it forward, and we're watching the regulators not be able to agree with each other about how they should be the assets should be regulated at all. It's absolutely ridiculous and very, very frustrating to watch, but we are seeing changes happening there, and we have all known for a very long time now we are new to an industry, and when an industry is new, we are going to see a battle with regulators until it all gets flattened out. So this is a problem we are going to have to face at some point, and I'd rather be facing it now than kicking the can down the road for the top of the bull market. So we are seeing some sort of conversation about this, at least a lot more than we were a year or so ago, and we will hopefully start to see some developments within the next couple of months and years about the regulation in the US. But while they do take so long to sort this out, we are seeing cryptocurrency adoption being adopted all over the world and moving out of the region, and they could be falling behind because of this lack of clarity there. Let's continue on to the next story though, because I know we do talk about regulation a lot here on the channel. If you have not already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. The next story we have today is SBF's trial. So this actually starts today. Now, This article was written prior to the actual trial beginning. What we are seeing here is obviously FTX fell in November 2022. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, was the CEO of FTX, and we are now seeing there are a few different approaches he could take to this trial. We believe it is going to be around a 6-week trial, so there's going to be loads of information coming out about this within the next couple of weeks. He could potentially face a daunting 110 years in prison if he does get charged with all of the things he has been accused of. He is fighting a case against including wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit commodities fraud, conspiracy to commit securities fraud, and a couple of others there as well, you can see in this article. So it's a huge legal battle going on right now, and it will really be interesting to see what the outcome of this is. We did see SBF, whilst he was the CEO of FTX, make a huge amount of donations to some very, very important people. And then in the last year or so, we've seen the absolute downfall of this man, and we've seen what actually was happening in FTX behind the scenes. Now, a lot of us within crypto would like to see him get the repercussions that he deserves, but what we are seeing here is we'll have to see how this plays out within the next 6 weeks. It's going to be an interesting one, so make sure to stay tuned on these live streams every single day, and we'll be updating you on that trial. And also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you do not miss those updates. Let's see what else is going on here in the cryptocurrency news. That martini guy is in the chat there today. We are seeing Celsius lawyer says revival plans include $450 million in seed funding. So back in 2022, we saw a horrible year for cryptocurrency. It started with UST depegging, and then we saw a huge amount of companies falling to the ground, filing for bankruptcy. And what we have seen here is Celsius. A lot of these companies actually filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which didn't mean they were just going to fall off the face of the earth. It meant that they were going to try and restructure their finances and try and grow once again, potentially. We have already seen FTX discuss relaunching as a cryptocurrency exchange. And now we're seeing Celsius, which was a lending firm, discuss a relaunch there. Now, they have said to relaunch, they would need a $450 million seed fund. Now, that is really, really interesting. A very high price there, but not something we can't expect to actually happen within the cryptocurrency space. Huge amounts of money can be raised in crypto. We've seen this over and over again. Fraser says, had a fair bit in Celsius, such a painful experience. A lot of people, unfortunately, did get burnt in 2022. But what we have to do is learn from those lessons and move forward with this, and just always be careful with how we're storing our cryptocurrencies. It would be interesting to see the revival of some of these companies within the next couple of years, and see how they continued to grow, and if they were able to continue to grow, and whether us cryptocurrency users would adopt those projects again. So it will be interesting to see how this all plays out. Let's take a look at what is going on here next. So we have Jamie Dimon praises AI tech, saying JP Morgan could use it in every single process. We have seen he has acknowledged the risk of job displacement, but emphasized that the value and benefit of the technology would outweigh those concerns. So he said, so average trading, hedging, research, every app, every database, you can be applying AI. So it might be as a co-pilot, it might be to replace humans. AI is doing all the equity hedging for us for the most part. It's idea generation, it's large language models. Now this is pretty terrifying for a lot of us. We are seeing AI capabilities increasing massively. It could be creating a huge amount of change in the years to come. Hopefully for the better. Hopefully we can use this as sort of a co-pilot and increase our efficiency and not just completely get replaced by this technology. But for those that can use it to increase their skills, it can be really, really useful and a very profitable tool. Let's see what else is going on here. We have Kenya's parliament calls for clear crypto regulation amidst WorldCoin probe. So we did see WorldCoin have it gained a lot of attention on its launch. A lot of people were going and signing up for to get involved in this project, and we saw a lot of regions actually outright banning it. So we did see here, let's take a look at this article. The Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee tasked with investigating the activities of WorldCoin in Kenya has released a final report outlining its findings on the crypto project. So the 15-member committee released the report on the 30th of September. It reiterated concerns that WorldCoin has still collecting personal data from Kenyans despite an order by the Minister for Interior Security security and for the crypto project to halt all operations within the country. So we are seeing concerns here for the long term. What we're seeing here is Kenya needs digital asset regulation. We can say that about many different regions across the world. We need some clarity on this, and we need to understand how we can build the industry in these different regions in a safe way. Let's continue on to the next one here. Before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. What we have here today is Ethereum Futures ETF launch, and we haven't seen as much excitement around it as a lot of people have been expecting. Now, we need to make it clear, we have had Bitcoin Futures ETFs around for a while. We are now seeing the launch of many different Ethereum Futures ETFs, and a lot of people were expecting the amount of hype that around this that we saw with the Bitcoin spot ETFs, but these are very different products. So let's take a look at this article, and I would like to point out that just because the Ethereum Futures ETFs didn't get the amount of hype and excitement that a lot of people expected, doesn't mean that the Bitcoin spot ETFs won't get that. I think they are very different products, and they will have very different effects on the markets here. So we are seeing here that maybe they didn't get the excitement, but we do have a little bit of excitement still coming here because spot ETFs may be coming for Ethereum as well. Now, Grayscale have already been through an entire lawsuit with the SEC to fight for their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust being transferred into a spot ETF, and we have now seen them file to convert their Grayscale Ethereum Trust into a ETF as well, a spot ETF. So this is really, really exciting here. TMG has just put £10 in fact into the chat. Very, very generous. A little something towards the price of the homeless shelter you are staying in. Let's see what else is going on here in the crypto news. We haven't had a donation in a while, actually. Let's see what's going on here. Portuguese central bank calls crypto unstable and calls for greater regulation. There's a running theme in today's cryptocurrency news. We want regulation, and we want to allow the cryptocurrency space to grow in the best way possible. We don't want to be fighting off lawsuits left, right, and centre. But that's what we seem to be doing in this market at the moment. Let's see what else is going on here. We have one last article. Rollbit burns 1.2% of token supply after reporting $38 million revenue for September. So this is a crypto casino. They've burnt 1.2% of RLB supply after posting their revenue from last month. So even though the cryptocurrency markets are flat, crypto casinos are still dragging in that revenue and trying to continue to build through this bear market. So they are burning, taking tokens out of circulation, which can artificially increase the price of the asset there as well. TMG says in the chat, Jess can't even afford a sandwich right now. It's tough times. It is tough times. Let's see what's going on with the price of Bitcoin here. So on the daily chart, let's go to this one first. We can see here we did unfortunately move to the downside. We did actually predict this in yesterday's stream. We were looking at the price of Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, and we could see there that it was a very strong move to the upside, and then we were starting to see the start of this correction, and we didn't really have any reason to hold those points. But we do have some more positive news here. Unfortunately, first of all, let's continue with the negative news. We did not hold that. If we get to the horizontal lines here, we were hoping to hold the daily candles at that $28,100 level. Now, that has been used as a resistance twice before within the last couple of months, and it would be really nice to see a daily candle close above that level, but unfortunately, on this occasion, we did not get that. Instead, we are looking to see if we can use some of these closer levels of support instead to retest those points. So we are looking, first of all, on the smaller time frames, I'm definitely looking at these points here. These points here have acted as a resistance twice within the last couple of days and have acted as a level of support at this point here. And we obviously did try and hold this one here, but did fail on that. So we are going to continue to see some sideways action here, unfortunately. What we are seeing is we have seen Bitcoin sitting around that $25,000 to $30,000 level for a very long time now, but every single time every single day we're getting closer and closer to that Bitcoin halving. Jordan, you're really distracting in the chat. Please come in and give us some Bitcoin analysis. What we are seeing here is Bitcoin has been doing some sideways action. We've still got a few more months to get to that Bitcoin halving, so I'm predicting we could be in for more sideways action. I'm seeing a lot of people looking for lower prices and it's predicting even the $20,000, $10,000 Bitcoin, which I just could not see happening at this point in time. I think Bitcoin always takes the path of most pain, and to see it move down to those levels where everybody is waiting to buy in at is just a little bit too kind. Not many people are looking at this and saying, yep, now is the time we're going to rip to the upside, and that gives it a lot of potential that we could be seeing some nice bullish momentum there. So I'm sitting patiently, holding on. Every time we see a dip, I'm just accumulating a little bit more. And every time we see a move to the upside, I'm very happy, but I'm still not selling at these levels. It just feels like a waste to me at this point in time, but we'll hold on to that and see what happens. But that is really all we have for today's stream. I don't know if TMG, you do want to come in and do some Bitcoin analysis before we churn off. Let's see what's going on in the chat today. So Master of the Fun says, I'll be happy if I have enough food for the week. What else is going on here? It's getting spammed in the chat today. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification as well.
I'm coming on for a bit.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Let's scoot over.
Yes, there we go. Right, we've got 16 people watching right now. Hello everybody, I'm back. Interesting stream that you did there. Your analysis on Bitcoin was what?
That we're probably going to, well, I'm hoping that we do hold this small level of previous resistance here that has
support.
A little bit of a support recently.
Okay.
27,200, but it's not exactly clear just yet.
Looks weak. Doesn't look amazing. What do I think? I think I'm not surprised at seeing this. It's like every time you see Bitcoin's price go up, it seems to just do the opposite of what it just did do. What do I think about this? It'd be surprising if we lost that level of support for sure. Definitely. I don't think that level of support is weak. It doesn't look weak. Like we've tested it there, and there. I actually think that's not really where the support should go. I actually think that
if you go into a higher time frame, we could get it across diagonally.
I would personally plot it like that bit there.
On the wicks.
Yeah. Like that. Because then you can extend it. Not that it makes a difference. You're still gonna no, not allowed to swear on this channel. We're still gonna drop through it at some point in time, but in essence, yeah, you just need to hold. What's the worst case scenario level? So you've got you can drop as low as that range. So basically it's 27,000. You need to hold 27,000.
If it doesn't, it looks painful.
Yeah, no, if you don't hold 27,000, we're going down to 23, 24. But I would have been surprised if we'd have broken through that on the first attempt and stayed above it. That would have been quite shocking. That would have been a complete trend change. What's the daily saying now? There's just, you can't really read that much into anything.
I've got a question here for you.
Yep.
We've got lower low, higher low, higher low. Would you count this as a high low? We've got higher highs, higher highs, higher highs.
Mm-hmm.
So we are technically still in a daily uptrend.
Yeah.
We're holding on to that for dear life.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't do it there, did it? It's a higher low.
Yeah.
Just.
Very, ever so slightly.
Just.
Not a lower low.
No, it's not. You could say it's the same low.
Yeah.
But I mean, this doesn't look particularly great. If you, so one of the things that I would say, look, typical thing to expect at this stage. You know me, got a nice old Head and Shoulders, but that would need to last. Then you're looking at the distance of time here between this point and this point was, what's that? 96 days. Wow, what a really boring period of time. That we've been stuck in this range for how long? Let's just measure it from the start. So we've been stuck in this range now for 207 days, and the Bitcoin volatility has been 20%. That's horrendous. But anyway, so in 96 days was it? So that means 96 days from this point would take us to there. So that would be the 20th of November. So it could be sideways for another month, but to be honest, you would expect it to get back up to these levels here. I think it is inevitable. We probably are going to end up back in that $30,000 range at some point in the near-term future. I just think that when we get there, it's so important that we don't drop. But saying that is not, because then if you were to drop from there, the logical thing So if I was to draw the Bitcoin price from here, I'd say the logical price movement would be all the way up to here, and then and that would coincide with like the line on the top here, and then you would expect it to go ooh, and then like sometime around Christmas, because normally Christmas Day is horrendous, it just like drops all the way down. Let's just draw a more straight line coming from there, and it'll drop back down to this level here, and then at that point there, that I'd say that's going to be a key buying level somewhere around 24k around Christmas, if that kind of scenario is going to occur. And then of course your Bitcoin halving is happening on the chart here in this zone, like probably about there. So the question is, where's Bitcoin's price going to be in this period of time? And that's, I just think that we probably end up going sideways in this range until Bitcoin halving. And then after Bitcoin halving, typically, if you were to look at what happens, is we actually drop generally after a Bitcoin halving. A lot of expectation is that we actually rise up very significantly. But I think typically we actually drop. If you actually look at what happens on the day of Bitcoin halving, maybe you expect like a 10, 20% drop, because all of the miners switch off because suddenly it's no longer profitable for them to mine. So the hash rate drops, so therefore confidence in Bitcoin drops. And that's always the best buying opportunity. So I think for me, I've not really got all of the Bitcoin that I want to have for the next bull run sorted, that I want to buy in this range here. That's for me the ultimate buying range. And if I can't buy in that range, I'm still buying where we're at right now. It's just there's a lot of things that can happen between now and Bitcoin halving that for me will generate revenue, which meaning I can buy my Bitcoin back, because as you all know on the channel, if you follow my YouTube channel, I sold so much of my Bitcoin. I sold about more than £1 million worth of Bitcoin. Like, it's been a lot of pounds worth of Bitcoin. But about £1.5 million worth of Bitcoin in the past 2 to 4 months. And that's been quite unpleasant. Like, imagine selling your Bitcoins for $22,000 a coin and you're going, this is not good. Like, these are all babies that I've held on to since they were worth like $300, and now I'm selling them for $22,000, and I'm going, this is terrible. I hate this. Strange feeling. But because you are in a significant profit at the end of the day. The interesting thing about that is I actually think that I'll be able to buy back my Bitcoin for the average price that I sold them for, but I'll also have hopefully at least £10 million profit. But I don't know. It don't feel like that right now. I can tell you that right now it just feels like I've spent £1 million worth of Bitcoin and I've got nothing to show for it. So that's quite sad. That's the thing of investing in stocks, though. It's just like investing in a cryptocurrency, but your stock isn't. It's not like a crypto where you can just send it to somebody or do something with it. Or, oh, look, I want to go buy a new car today. Let's just go and sell some Bitcoin. No, you can't do that with stocks. You have to wait for them to list on the stock market, and then when they list on the stock market, you've got to find buyers and stuff to sell to. So it's not as easy, especially when you're exiting such a large position. So in essence, somebody's saying, anyone reading this chart, good luck. Yeah, no one's reading this chart. This is me explaining and wiggling lines at the same time. We can get rid of some of that, I suppose. But yeah, I think that the market is in a very interesting place right now. I'm kind of hoping that there isn't anything bad on the horizon in the next couple months, and I don't think there is. I actually think that on the back end, the amount of altcoin companies that I speak to on a daily basis, that everybody's trying to make significant improvements. I think that the whole thing is getting a lot more professional on the back end. If you think the last bull market was people with no experience setting up companies and driving blind and getting paid loads of money, that was what was happening, and that's not good for any industry. Whereas now, the ones that are still left, the ones that are surviving, they're all quite good and well-designed companies. So I'm just quite optimistic about where the market is at right now. I think that the market is in a good place. And yeah, it's been overall quite good. Now, we actually keep growing in viewers. Now, we've only got 9 likes on this live stream, but we keep growing in viewers. So if you wouldn't mind, please do drop a like on today's live stream. I'd really appreciate that. And also, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Crypto Saving Expert YouTube channel, please do subscribe to it as well. Jess goes live on here every single day, which is great news. So, well, every single day apart from weekends because she's lazy. But apart from weekends, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for everybody for dropping a like. Jordan, did you ever go to a Chainlink SmartCon event? Why not this year? I've never been to a Chainlink SmartCon event. I've been to quite a lot of Solana events. They're always pretty good. But Chainlink, never been to one. I should probably go to one. I actually quite like Chainlink. I don't actually hold that much Chainlink. I used to hold a lot more Chainlink than what I currently do. But then I had to sell it to fund Crypto Saving Expert and fund all the other various different business ventures that we've been doing. So, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? When I join the stream, the views go up. Nobody likes you.
Nobody know. How do they know that you're on the stream?
But I put out a tweet saying that I'm on the stream. But I actually put out the tweet all the way back there when you had like 10 viewers. It was a very slow start to today's stream. Nobody even clicked on it. You all typed, but swearing again. Not allowed to swear on the stream. Anyway, what other things can we discuss today, Jess? What?
Well, I was just looking at this Bitcoin chart and thinking $32,000 is actually a very strong resistance that is going to take a few attacks to actually break. And with the Bitcoin halving in 6 months' time, 7 months' time, we could actually see a little bit more volatility than I was thinking. I think we're going to see a lot more sideways action than people are expecting, but I also think we do need to have a few more attacks at that point within the next couple of months. If the bull market is coming when it normally comes, we've got time here that we need to attack that level at some point.
When we should be putting a Bitcoin halving countdown timer on this website that we've built.
We should.
Make a note of that. That's a good one to make a note of. We're going to put a Bitcoin halving timer on the website, so then you can all keep an eye on what's going on there. By the way, guys, one of the other things I want to point out that I don't think Jess has probably brought up in today's stream. Have you? You've not brought it up in today's stream. For a limited time only, there is currently if we go on essentials here on the website, on the Crypto Saving Expert merch store, but down here, if you scroll down to the bottom, we now have a £1 million mystery box. Which one of you degenerates out there is going to be the one to buy a £1 million mystery box? So that's going to be an interesting one when somebody does buy that. Nobody knows what's going to be in the £1 million mystery box. It's going to be a fun one. Apparently the value of it's worth more than $1 million. So yeah, it's going to be, maybe you get a house or something. We'll see. But yeah, no, if you're not been to the Crypto Saving Expert store, it's a really good store to go to. It's got all your favorite Crypto Saving Expert things. It's also got Bitcoin neon signs, soy wax candles. But an interesting one for all you people out there that do have girlfriends or significant others. The Bitcoin wax melt. Some of you might be wondering, what is this? It's a Bitcoin made of wax that you can put on a wax melting tray and it makes your house smell nice. This £4 Bitcoin thing will last longer than any candle that you can buy that's not absolutely huge and ridiculously expensive. These wax melts last for like so long. They're actually really good. So I'd recommend that you try the wax melts. They're only £4 each, and you can get a burner for £10 as well that you put it with. My personal favourite burner is this one down here, just because it looks cool. But yeah, try them out. I think the wax melts is something that people don't actually know about in the crypto community for some reason. But we're the first ever company to do Bitcoin wax melts. No one's ever done a Bitcoin wax melt before. And I think that going towards Christmas time, something like that is going to absolutely fly off the shelves. Every single one of these, by the way, is made in-house. We don't outsource it all to China or anything like that. We make every single one of these by hand. So yeah, it's very like cool. I've really enjoyed the whole creating a store process. That's been quite fun. I guess Jess has already somewhat discussed what's going on in today's cryptocurrency news, but I want to discuss a little bit like about the SBF case. Oof, I don't like that feature.
That came out while we were on stream.
This new yeah. That needs addressing. Not the biggest fan of the way that, maybe something to do with cookies or whatever. Either way, 3 reasons why SBF will likely be convicted according to ex-SEC lawyer. What do you think? Is Sam Bankman-Fried gonna be in jail? How long do you reckon he's gonna get? Because of course, he's even gonna get jail. Oh, one more question. Somebody says in the chat, good morning, Crypto or Chad. Chad is the best seller so far. I'd recommend you try Chad, but get one of each. See what you think.
And it's the same sense for the candles and the air fresheners.
Yeah, same sense for the candles and the air fresheners. And the air fresheners are interesting as well because they are refillable. If you wanted to refill them, we can just send you a refilling kit. So yeah. Anyway, back on the topic, away from the wax melts, of which you can get on CryptoSavingExpert.store. I'd reckon because it's been a pretty good seller so far, but I think that a lot of cryptocurrency people don't actually know that wax melts are actually better value than candles. And as we are crypto saving experts, it's important to point out that you get better value for money with a wax melt. Despite you get less wax, you actually get a thing that lasts longer because it's not a direct flame that burns the wax away. It's an indirect flame. Anyway.
I think this is a really interesting one because we did a stream in November last year when the whole FTX thing was going on, and you joined us on the Crypto Saving Expert live stream, and you said he's not going to get convicted and they're going to relaunch the exchange. So far, the new CEO has come and said, we might relaunch this exchange. And he's just managed to, I don't know, things are looking a bit unsure about what the future actually is for him. I really hope he does get the repercussions that he deserves. But your prediction has sort of come right in the last year. And it was just a really outrageous prediction at the time.
We'll take it when what I want to get myself back on screen so I can see where I am. There we go. My prediction was good, and we'll take that clip when the trial comes out next week. In fact, make a note of that as well. We should take that clip from that stream and put it at the start of a Crypto Saving Expert video soon. Make me look smart. But yes, I think, and I have thought for a long time, Sam Bankman-Fried will probably get off with it, and that they'll relaunch FTX. They have to relaunch FTX because they have to redistribute those funds to the users. They just have to relaunch FTX. So FTX will happen. It will come back. Nobody will use it after 6 months of it being back. It will be one of those failed launches, but they will try and relaunch it. And it's the best thing for the users if they do relaunch it. It's not the exchange that's the problem. It was management that's the problem, because when the management's doing loads of drugs and having... I think we are still live. I think it's just not registering on your computer. I think you could probably just refresh on there. Yeah? Is it back? Yeah, we're back. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, at Crypto Saving Expert, we do discourage our staff from doing drugs and having orgies, but we don't discourage them from going to the Bahamas and avoiding regulations and taxes. That I have no issue with. It's the being a drugged up degenerate that runs a crypto exchange is the more questionable thing. So Sam, I think, will probably end up with 6 to 12 months in jail. And I think that's it. I think that he'll get sentenced for 5 years to 10 years, but I think he'll actually only serve 6 to 12 months. I think that when you've donated so much money to charity, so much money to governments, so much money as bribes, it's got to pay in your favor at some point in time. So overall, Sam has got to do something in terms of he should have a positive result from this. By the way, if you are new to this channel right now and you are just watching the stream, do drop a like on it and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. This is Crypto Saving Expert, not the That Martini Guy channel. If you're wondering why the viewers are lower than normal, they're actually not. This channel doesn't get that many views. Please do subscribe. Jess needs all of the viewers that she can get. Anyway, what do you think? I mean, we've already kind of discussed it.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting one. What I'm interested in about what's going on right now with FTX is I've seen a lot of news about people buying each other's claims now. I was speaking to somebody here. Yeah, I was speaking to someone about you doing that earlier on. And there's been a bit of news about that recently because the demand started to increase because we're seeing the money flow back to FTX from all of those donations. And we're seeing the likelihood of those claims coming to fruition getting closer and closer. So that's a really interesting prospect right now that I hadn't really considered.
So that was the other thing as well. So last year I went round and there was a lot of people that were panicking about their FTX accounts and saying, oh, this is all going to go wrong forever and I have lost all of my money. And I said to you, look, if you got $100,000 plus in your FTX account, I'll buy it off you for 1/10 of the value of the money in the account, which means that for me personally, it's a risk. I might lose $10,000 buying you a $100,000 account. But if I get access to that account in the future and I can withdraw those funds, I'll make a bunch of money. So I spent, I think, about $40,000 or something on accounts and bought like $400,000 worth of debt, essentially. And maybe it'll pay off. Maybe that was quite a good decision. But we shall see for the long term. Either way, that was a whole little microeconomy that cropped up for a small period of time, not that long ago. Now, one more thing that I want to discuss in today's thing is about, it's not Rollbit because Rollbit is gambling. The Ethereum Futures ETF launches to subdued volume. No surprise there. Where is it? Coinbase obtained a major license. Well, it was yesterday's news. Kenya's parliament calls for clear crypto regulation amidst the WorldCoin probe. I mean, don't blame them. Grayscale submitting applications for conversion of Ethereum Trust to spot ETF. Why does it do that? That's actually quite annoying. Why would they add that as a feature? I get why they've put the bar at the top, but it hides what's left of the page. Anyway, I think we're probably getting towards the end of today's stream, to be honest. I'm running out of things to talk about, and I also don't want to spoil today's video. I will be back again on my YouTube channel today, so please do follow along and go and watch my YouTube video when it comes out. Please make sure you are, of course, liking all of the Crypto Saving Expert live streams that do come out, and make sure you are subscribed to the Crypto Saving Expert YouTube channel. Any closing remarks from yourself?
No, that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be back here tomorrow with another live stream.
Right, ciao, everybody. Have a nice day, and